Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vinyasa Level 2-3, as brought to you by the Rochester Athletic Club. I'm Catherine McBride, and I'll be leading you through the practice today. I just want to let everyone know and remind you that using your body, being strong, having a high level of fitness, even if you just do a little bit every day, is part of the solution now that we are kind of cooped up. Some of us are ill. Many of us are afraid of getting ill. Staying physically strong is going to help you. So anything you can do to get outside for a walk, to lift your own body weight, to practice yoga or some other fitness will help. And I'd like to thank the Rochester Athletic Club for making these Zooms available. So with that, let's begin our practice. We're going to begin sitting on our mats. You can sit in any way that's comfortable. I'm going to sit crisscross. And actually, I'll turn to the side because we're going to start with a breath that is a strong breath, pushing the air out with the solar plexus in a strong punch. So you take a deep breath in and then push it out with a punch. Breathe in, push out with a punch. And keep doing that. You can start slow and increase in tempo a little bit. So I'll demonstrate. You can do it with me. Take one long deep breath in. Good. Now we're going to do that same breath, punching it out with the solar plexus. I'd like you to bring your hands up and put them on your shoulders. So just try the breath like this, and then after a while, we're going to start to move as we breathe. So take a breath in, exhale. Now move. Inhale. As you exhale, shoulders twist. Switch sides. Inhale, exhale, twist. You can exaggerate the movement, exaggerate the breath. We're going to bring the tempo up just a little bit. Back to the center. Breathe in, reach your arms up high. Breathe out, bring your arms down to the floor. Good. Breathe in again, bring your arms up high. This time when we breathe out, twist to the side, one arm in front, one arm in back as you exhale. Breathe in, reach both arms high. Breathe out, twist the other way. Nice and slow. Go about this at your own pace. A couple more times. Breathing in as you reach, breathing out as you descend. In a twist. If you'd like, the front hand can come to the other opposite side knee and get a little bit deeper twist, but make it dynamic. One more to each side. Good. Inhale back to the center, and let's come to standing at the top of our mat. Today, it's going to be this way for me. We're going to do a lot of dynamic sun salutes today. We're going to add different elements into them. So standing tall, tuck your tail under a little bit, roll your shoulders back and down. Bend your knees just the tiniest bit. Good. Let's exhale and begin to move. Inhale, reach high. And exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. This is all we're going to do. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, back down. Inhale, come back to standing. Reach high. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back up. And exhale, fold. Slow it down if you'd like to. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half.
Exhale, fold. This time, come all the way up, inhaling. We're gonna add a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Take a full breath here. And exhale, step your feet back to your hands. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up, and let your back come back, bend a little bit. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, down dog. Take a full breath in here. And exhale, step your feet back up. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, bend back a little bit. One more time. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, down dog. Inhale here. Full exhale. Now inhale, step your feet up to your hands. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands back down to your sides. Good. Full sun salute A. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Come down to chaturanga. Upward facing dog as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take 3 or 4 breaths here. Trying to lift your torso and your rib cage up out of your shoulders. Hands are spread wide, palms gripping the floor, pressing your thumbs and your pinky fingers into the floor. Also letting your heels get heavy. The back of your legs get long. Let's take 1 more breath. Full exhale. Step your feet back to your hands, half lift, and fold. Come back up to standing, and dive in for number 2. Swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale. Notice I'm always stepping back with the same foot, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. For me, it's the left foot, and then I step forward with that same foot. That keeps my body and my practice balanced. Breathe in deeply here, a couple more breaths.
I should show you the houses that have.
Long breath in, big breath out. I'm stepping that left foot forward now. Both feet to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing. We're going to add another element now. Swan dive to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And then step or jump your feet to the center. Put your seat down and come into boat pose. 5 breaths here. You could have your legs bent or straight. 2, back is flat. 3, 4. 1 more breath. Good. Cross your ankles. We're going to come back to downward facing dog. Take a breath or 2 here. This practice is meant to be a flow, so lots of movement. When you're ready, step both feet to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, reach back a little bit if it feels good. Swan dive to forward fold. This is our warm-up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to plank and chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step or jump your feet to the center. Let's come into half boat this time, which is where your rib cage is on the floor, but your head and shoulders are up and your feet are very close to the floor. 3, 4, 1 more. Good, draw your knees in. Let's come straight to downward facing dog. Good. Let your breath be even. If you start to feel like you're getting tired, then slow down or rest and take a couple of deep breaths. We're really managing the breath to determine how hard we can work. If you can't take a full breath in, then you're either talking too much in class or you're working too hard. So you need to stop until you can make your breath full. Good. So let's jump both feet back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, full fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Take a nice long back bend if it feels good. And exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step one foot back into a lunge. Good. So this lunge, you can stay right here, or you can bring your arms to the sky. Exhale to plank, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. That foot that was back steps forward. Now we're on the other side. Bring out the lunge here, or bring your arms to the sky as you breathe in. Exhale, both hands to the floor, feet together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. Reach up. I like a little back bend. And number 2, swan dive in. Half lift as you breathe in. One foot steps back. Come into the lunge of your choice. And now let's add a little side stretch. So you're in your deep lunge. And just lean to one side. Take a breath in and feel that side rib cage open. And then to the other side. Good.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yes.
And then back up to the sky. Hands to the floor. Plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Second side, same thing. Nice big lunge. To one side. Take a deep breath in.
A little bit?
And then lean to the other side. Good. Good. Stay there. I'm going to manage a little bit. You're okay.
Yes. I actually did like for
Yeah. Do you want to mute?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's all
I
right.
apologize.
That's okay. You're good. We're recording, so if you want to be seen, you won't be seen now. That's good. All right. So here we are. Back to our practice. Let's come back both feet to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale, arms to your sides. Perfect. Let's do that one more time, a little different. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step back to plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Let's step one foot forward. And we are going to come into a twist. So you can drop your back heel down if you'd like. I like to keep my back heel up. Opposite elbow comes to the outside of the front knee. Hands can be in prayer pose. And twist. Doesn't have to be this deep. You'll be using your hands. Take a breath in here. And exhale, let's cycle through. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Good. Same thing on the second side. You won't see me doing it, but I'd like you to step your foot forward into a nice lunge. Good. And then come to a twist.
Remember Fullerton?
Yeah, you know what? I would really love if everyone was muted. Somehow I'm not able to mute all of you.
Can you
Good.
hear
Let's
me
come out of
or
this
not?
pose and keep going. Are you muted? I can
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Now, okay, I'll do this again.
Thanks.
Did that help?
I can still hear you. Yeah, and I can hear people in the background.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm going to pause. All right. Wherever you are, let's come back to downward facing dog. There we go. Good. There we go. And now let's bring both feet forward. Half lift, full fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach back. And exhale, arms to your sides. Good. Sun salute B. Feet together. Bend your knees. Bring your hips back. Lift chest and arms. Inhale to stand. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right foot forward to warrior one. Back heel drops. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, cycle through vinyasa. There we go. And now the other foot forward. It's a pattern of movement that warms up our bodies. Chaturanga, upward facing. downward facing. Let's take an extra breath here. And in the interest of constant movement, which is my goal today, let's just bring our feet forward. Feet are together. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right foot steps forward. Inhale to warrior one. Stay here this time. And we're going to move into half moon pose and grab our top foot. So let's move into warrior two from here. And I'm going to move back a little bit on my mat. Front hand, going to come down to the floor. Back leg reaches up. You can stay like this in half moon pose, or you can take the top hand and reach for your back foot. Really open up your chest. Take a couple of breaths here. Good. Whenever you're ready, extend the back leg and the top arm. Let's land back in warrior two and cycle through the second side. Hands to the floor, chaturanga. Upward facing. Good, downward facing. Second side, I'm going to move back a little bit for some space. My left foot steps forward, warrior one. Good. Warrior two. A couple of big breaths here. And we're going to bring all the weight onto the front leg. Front hand reaches out, make a cone out of your fingers. Reach up. And if you'd like, grab your back foot and open up your chest. Open up your quad and breathe. You don't have to go to your maximum ability. Go till it feels good. Maybe you have a little bit of a challenge and then enjoy it. Good. Whenever you're ready, release your foot and your arm. Bring everything back down. Cycle through the end of the salute with a vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Stay there if you'd like. Put your knees on the floor, hips to your heels if you'd like, or step both feet up to your hands, feet are together. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. We're gonna hold this here. Good, a good quad strengthener. See if you can pull your knees back a little bit. Good, and lift your chest. One more breath here. And then let's have chest come down to your thighs stay where they are. Now maybe your arms are reaching out in front of you. Good, squeezing legs together. All the way from your thighs, your ankles, your butt cheeks, everything squeezing together into the midline. Let's come back to chair pose. We're tired. It's all right, one more breath. And inhale to come to standing, exhale, arms to your sides. Good. Let's carry on with some movement based in vinyasa. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. We're coming directly into crescent. So I'm stepping my left foot straight back, staying on my toes. Crescent pose. You can put your back knee down, lay your back toenails on the floor if that feels good. You can stay up on your back toes if that feels good. It's a little bit more challenging. It's a deeper stretch in the thigh. I'm going to keep my knee down today. Bring your arms up to the sky. I like to interlace, clasping my fingers like this. Good. Big breath in here. And exhale, let's move to the second side. We'll go through vinyasa, or you can go straight to the second side. Chaturanga, up dog and down dog is our vinyasa. I'm going to step the other, let's do the left foot forward. Good. Maybe your arms come to the sky. We hold this for a moment or two. Nice big breath, nice and calm. If you're starting to feel warm, that's good. That's okay. My teachers have told me to not drink during yoga practice, to not quench that fire. Let's bring our hands to the floor, cycle through vinyasa to downward facing dog. Good. Good. We're going to do some more things in crescent pose. So let's step the right foot forward and come up into crescent, and then bring our hands back down again. This time, knee down, toenails to the floor. Come up, sink your hips forward, exhale, come back down. Last time, toe up or down. Inhale, bring your arms high. Exhale, hands to the floor.
Switch feet. You can jump switch. Second side, good. You can either be up on your toes or down on your knee and toenail. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Maybe switch your toes. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time, any position you'd like. Inhale, arms high. And exhale, back down again. Jump switch to the first side. For me, that's my right foot forward. So now I'm going to inhale up. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring my hands together over my tailbone. Inhale, reach your arms high, bring your chest off your thigh. Exhale, hands to your tailbone. Last time, inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale your hands to the tailbone and interlace them. Let's come up into warrior three. Standing on your front leg, extending back leg behind you. Good, and opening your chest by pressing the fist of your hands down lower on your spine. One more breath here. And let's land back into the crescent pose. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, hands to the floor. Switch feet. You can step switch or jump switch. So inhale, arms up. This is the second side. Exhale, hands behind your back. Inhale, arms up. Hands to tailbone. This next time as we come up, now we're going to clasp our hands and come up into balancing warrior three. Breathe. 2, 3. When you're ready, come back into the crescent. Inhale, arms high. And exhale, cycle through vinyasa or go straight to down dog or rest. Good. Step your right foot forward. Back heel drops down right where it is. Windmill your arms up to warrior two. So we try to keep the spine straight up and down, not leaning forward. Arms are parallel to the floor, but turn your palms up to feel your shoulders drop down. Keep your shoulders low like that. Good. We're going to transition with this in and out of triangle. So we exhale here. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale to triangle. Inhale back up to warrior two. And exhale to triangle. Make it a very slow breath. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, triangle. Bottom hand comes to the floor, top hand comes to the sky. One more time. Inhale here. And exhale to triangle. Get a little deeper now. We're warmed up. If it feels good, you can bring your top end over your head. Get that nice long stretch. If you'd like, add the bottom hand. Good. Let's come back to warrior two and revolve it. Back hand to back thigh, front palm to the sky. Try to maintain the integrity of the pose and then reach up and arc. Stretch your side ribs. Nice big breath. Good. Go through vinyasa or come straight to the second side. I'm going to bring my hands to the floor. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. My left foot steps forward. Warrior two. Good. So inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale to triangle. Inhale, warrior two. Nice and slow. Exhale, triangle. Trikonasana. Inhale, warrior two. Come all the way into the pose. Exhale, triangle. One more time, dynamic. Inhale, come up. This time, exhale and triangle, and hold the pose. Get a little deeper into it. Pull your rib cage so that your heart is directly over your knee, not on the inside of it. Reach high. Bring your top arm over your head if you'd like. Bring your bottom arm up to match it if you'd like. Take another breath or two here. Good. On your next inhale, come back to warrior two. Back hand to back thigh, front palm to the sky, revolve. Really reach up. Don't forget about bending your front knee. Another big breath in here. And then we go through our vinyasa. Good. Both hands to the floor. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Let's take a couple breaths here and just feel this pose. Kind of like to sway back and forth sometimes. Tilt my head from side to side. Get a little neck stretch sometimes.
And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Good. So our bodies are really warmed up now. Hopefully you feel that too. Let's bring the right leg high to the sky. What you feel here is extra pressure on the back of your left foot or left leg. Your left foot is on the floor. Good. Bend that top leg and straighten it. And now we're going to move to standing split. The foot that's in the sky is going to come to our hands. The foot that's on the floor is going to come up to the sky. So right foot steps forward, lands between your hands, and left leg comes to the sky to standing split. Bring your chest as close as you can to your shin, your thigh. Maybe you hold on your ankle with one or two hands. Maybe you keep one or two hands out as kickstands. Then let's add a little twist to this. So the leg that's in the sky, bend that knee and bring it down on the outside of your bottom foot. Then you put both butt cheeks on the floor and you twist away from or actually beyond your front knee. So a nice big twist here. Good, take a big breath in, feel that twist. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. Your right foot is in front, both hands flank your right foot. Let's come back to standing split and then step back to downward facing dog. Good. Left leg in the sky. Now we feel a deep stretch in the back of the right leg. When you feel like it, bend that top leg and straighten it. Bend your top leg. Now we're going to step into standing split. So the top foot's going to come between your hands and your bottom foot is going to come to the sky. So step your left foot up to your hands, right leg comes to the sky, and just balance. Maybe both hands stay down. Maybe your hands come to holding onto your ankle. Good. Last breath here. That top foot comes down behind you. Both feet together, plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And go to downward facing dog. And really try to broaden your back, rolling your shoulder blades away from each other when you're in down dog. Try to hollow out your belly a little bit and lengthen your legs by tipping your pelvis forward, your pelvic bowl forward to lengthen your back body. Let's take another breath or two here in downward facing dog. Good. From down dog, come to your knees. We're going to take a moment to release our wrists. If your wrists get sore in all of these things where we have our weight on our hands, you can always do it on your forearms. Sometimes it's a little awkward, but it keeps your wrists safe. Or you can take little hand weights and keep your hands like this when we're balancing, as long as your knuckles are off the floor. But another way of releasing that is to put the backs of your hands together and just press. So this is an easier version. And when you bring up, you get a better, bring your wrists up, you get a little better angle. And just press your wrists, the top side of your wrists together. Good. And then kind of roll wrists around in one direction and then in the other direction. Good. Good. Because now we're going to use those wrists again. So let's come back to downward facing dog. Right hand in the center of your mat. Let's go to side plank. You can be down on your forearm if that feels better. Side plank can be here. You can lift one leg up. You can put it back down, or you can make it dynamic. Leg up and then leg down. Lifting your top leg a little bit and bring it back down. You can lift it a couple inches, or you can lift it even higher. Good. Let's switch sides. Left hand on the floor, both legs straight, feet stacked. And try lifting your top leg, bringing it down. Long line of your arms. Lift, breathing in, exhale, bring it down. Let's do a couple more leg lifts where you can hold it up there the whole time. Good. When you're ready, bring both hands to the floor, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Good. Step your feet up to your hands into the deepest squat you can. Heels on the floor. If your heels aren't flat on the floor, then bring your tush up a little bit so that you get your heels down, maybe lean forward. I like to put my elbows on the inside of my knees and get a really deep squat. Good. So we're stretching our low back and we're sort of exaggerating the flexion of our hips to see what kind of range of motion we have there. Good. Put your hands on the floor, straighten your legs. Good. Let's bring feet together a little bit. Mine tend to get a little wide when I squat. And I'm going to walk both hands around to the outside of my left foot, could be either one, keeping my hips in the same place. The hips aren't swaying. Deep forward fold. You can feel this on the IT band, the outside of the opposite leg. Nice stretch there. Stay here as long as you'd like. When you feel ready, walk your hands to the other side. We're going to try not to let our hips rotate around. Forward fold, a little bit of a twist. Good. This gets even stronger if you cross your feet before you fold over. Nice long breath. And then when you feel ready, walk your hands back into the front. We're going to squat down again. This time we're getting ready for arm balancing. If you have a variety of arm balances you want to do, go ahead and do 1 or 2 of them. Typically we hold for 5 breaths and then come out and do something that's very different than the arm balance. I'm going to do one today, and it's going to be crow pose. So my hands are spread wide open on the floor, about the distance apart of my shoulders, a little bit farther. Bend the elbows. I'm going to stack my knees on top of the back of my elbows and then transfer weight from my low body into my arms. And then try to lift up my feet, my belly. Good. And maybe straighten the arms a little bit. 4 and 5. You can jump to chaturanga or you can step gingerly back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good. If you have another arm balance, go ahead and do it. The rest of us are going to come into a tiptoe squat here on the top of our mat. Just squatting on your tiptoes. Good. Now let's see if we can extend one leg out in front of us and balance. Whoops. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. Good. If you can, put that foot back. Bring your weight onto the other heel and extend your leg in front. Good. Good. Both feet back. Ooh. And a really deep tiptoe squat. Now, if you can, bring your knees to the floor in front. I'm going to move back a little bit on my mat. And so your toes are tucked underneath. And as I lean back, there's more weight on my toes. I'm getting a deeper stretch. If it really hurts, then back off. Don't lean as much. But if you can, lean back. Some of us can lean back even farther. I'm not one of those. Be gentle with your toes. Keep them agile. Good. If you wanted to go back a little farther, you could. Some people can go a lot farther. Good. Be gentle. When you're ready, come back up. Pop your knees off the floor for our last moment of balancing here. Good. Hands to the floor. Step or jump your feet back for plank pose, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good. We're going to do a leg stretch now. So come to your hands and knees, and let's do cat-cow for just a moment. So inhale, lift your tail, lift your chin. Exhale, lift your spine. We've had a little bit of spinal action, but not quite enough. Inhale, lift your chin and tail. Exhale, lift your spine. Let's do that one more time and really exaggerate the movement. Just paying attention to our spine. Good. Good. Now let's come back into downward facing dog. Bring your right foot high into the sky and really push your weight back so you are getting a deep, deep stretch on the back of your left leg. Bend your top leg, and then we're going to sweep it down underneath our body to the left side of our bodies. So sweep your top leg down and bring it out underneath so that your right hip sits down on the floor. Then extend your left leg behind. So this is the legs of Wounded Warrior. So if you feel this is really, really tight, you can keep your body up. If you feel like you can come down, bending forward a little bit, go ahead. Maybe you bring your hands out a little bit. Maybe your elbows come to the floor. So your hip is stuck to the floor, so we don't want to push too far. Maybe you can even take your right hand out to the side and straighten it. That's probably hard for you to see. So that you're adding a twist of your chest in the opposite direction of your right foot. Take a few breaths here. Let's take one more big breath in this very deep pose. Good. Bring both hands back and back to plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Back to plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing and downward facing. Now the left leg comes into the sky. Bring it up as high as you can and push your weight back, chest moving towards your right thigh to intensify the stretch of the right hamstring. Good, you can bend your top leg when you're ready. It's a nice quad stretch there. We're gonna do a little bit more of that later. And then when you're ready, that top leg is gonna sweep down. You can keep it bent, sweep it underneath and stick it out to the right side. So that's your left leg sticking out to the right side. My left hip is on the floor. And then I test this side to see how flexible I am. Back leg stretches out nice and straight. And you notice I'm up on my toes behind. So maybe your hands can come out a little bit. Maybe your elbows can come to the floor. Maybe you can take, now in this case, my left hand and straighten the arm to twist my chest away from the leg that's sticking out to the side. In this case, to the left. Let's take some really big breaths here. Notice in a twist, it's more difficult to get a deep breath. But that's what we want. So back off if you need to. Maybe 3 more breaths here. Whenever you're ready, bring your hands back to the front. Unwind and come straight back to plank pose. Lower to chaturanga. Let's hold it for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5, and bring your belly down to the floor. Good. So now bend your knees, and we're going to do a little gentle back bending. Grab hold of one foot or both feet. Try to keep your knees, shoulders distance apart. Then when you're ready, make your feet into hooks, and then pull your feet back to lift your chest off the floor. What's known as bow pose. Nice big breath here. One more breath. And release. Let go of your feet, and we're just going to relax here for just a second. This next time, we're going to go up into the same pose, and you will have the option of rolling over to your side. You don't have to. So when you're ready, chin to the floor, just grab hold of our ankles, hook the feet, and lift up into the pose. And when you're ready, roll over to one side. Get a little bit stronger stretch on one side of your body. And then if you can, I always use my chin to get back up, and then to the second side. Good. If something in any pose, roll back up to the center, feels awful, come out of the pose. Let's release and lie down. Good. I have my chin on my hands. You can have your cheek on your hands. We're just resting here. If your cheek is on your hands, turn your head to the other side. Good. When you're ready, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, come into upward facing dog, and then slowly come into downward facing dog, which is the counter pose to a back bend. Good. We're going to have a moment for headstanding. If you have headstand in your practice, go ahead and do it. I don't think it's a good idea for me to do it while I'm being filmed because I can't concentrate as much. But so you have about a minute to do headstand, and I know some of you really like that. What's important in headstanding is you grab your own elbows, put your elbows on the ground there. Put your hands out, your elbows stay where they are, and interlace your fingers. Top of your head inserts into that little pocket between your fingers. Top of your head is on the floor, but your elbows are firmly on the floor, so most of the weight is held by your forearm, and you're transferred through your shoulders, not the top of your head. Headstand is a very difficult pose. So you can come partway in, maybe just lift one leg up, and then take a breath or two and lift the other leg up. Try to pay very close attention to how much weight is on your head and how much compression there is in your neck.
We want to minimize both of those things. So you stay in headstand as long as you'd like. And then when you're ready, you can join us again for some back bending. So if you're completed with your headstand or you have skipped it like I have, then let's come to lying on your back. First, we're going to do bridge pose, and we'll do a couple of those, and then we'll do wheel. If you do wheel the whole time, that's fine too. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just listen to my voice without looking at the screen. So you're lying on your back with your hands at your sides. Walk your heels back to your rear end and plant your feet on the floor. Knees are hip distance apart. When you're ready, tuck your tail, engage your abs, tuck your tail and start to roll your spine off the floor. Don't look around until your hips are as high as they can go. You're really using quad strength to get your hips up. Take a breath here, and then the opposite. Roll your spine back down. Keep your tail tucked until your tailbone's back on the floor. We're going to do it again. You can go a little farther if we'd like. There's nothing to see, but just listen to my voice. So when you're ready, exhale, tuck your tail, and then bring your, roll your tail and your spine off the floor. You want to bring your shoulders in a little bit, you can. Interlace your hands behind your back. Push your feet into the floor. Push your hips up. Take an extra breath or two here. Whenever you feel ready, you can stay as long as you want. When you feel ready, you can come back down again. I like to hold these 5 breaths. How you come out is unwind your shoulders, roll your spine back down, release. Come up to bridge one more time if you'd like for 5 breaths, or come into wheel pose with just hands at your the side of your ears. And bring yourself up. Try to keep everything lined up to the center. Your knees together, your armpits rolling in towards each other, your arms straight down, not wide open. Take a couple of breaths here. When you're ready to come out, tuck your chin to your chest, from the back of your head. I like to come up on my tiptoes as I quietly roll my spine back to the floor. And then lying on the floor, I'm going to pull my knees into my chest. And just relax there. Very nice. So I'm lying on the floor with my knees in my chest. I'm going to take my arms out to the side and bring both feet to the sky. Flexing my feet so my heels are pointing up at the sky. Then point your feet, everything, toes and everything, and flex. Point your feet. This time we're just going to flex the toes back. So what I call a Barbie doll foot. So your foot is pointed, but your toes are flexed. See if you can spread all your toes, and notice how you are also spreading your fingers while we do that. That's just natural. So let's try to hold on to that Barbie doll foot. Keep the right leg in the sky and let the left leg come down, not quite to the floor. Press your low back into the floor. This is very Pilates style. Good core strength. Keep flexing your toes and then switch legs. Press the low back into the floor. It's very isometric. There's not a lot of movement. It's an intense pose. Good. Switch again. Good. And the last time we're going to switch. So I've got my left leg in the sky now. Very nice. Reach up. So I have my left foot in the sky. I'm going to take my left hand, reach up and grab my left big toe with my first 2 left fingers. I'm going to put my base leg on the floor and then let my left leg open up to the side. And maybe I'm going to roll my gaze over towards my right hand and breathe. Supine hand to big toe pose. Nice big breath. Try to straighten both legs. Good. When you feel ready, let's take that left leg back to the sky, but switch hands. So now my right hand's grabbing the outside edge of my left foot, and I'm going to roll it the other way. Good. My left arm is stretched out to the side. A couple of nice big breaths here. And when you feel ready, let's get that foot back up to the sky and switch. So now I've got right leg in the sky, my left leg is hovering. Right hand grabs right big toe. And I'm going to open it up to the side as my left leg comes down to the floor. If you would like, you can take your right or your left hand and press down on your left thigh. Good. Just hold your leg open. Try to straighten your top leg, the leg that you're holding on to, my right. Good. And when you're ready, that right foot comes back up to the sky. Release with the right hand, and instead take the left hand to the outside of the right foot and roll to the opposite side. So now your leg is crossing your body. Sometimes it goes down a little faster than others. Good. Nice big IT band stretch here. We'll take 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then if you can manage to get that leg back up to the sky, that's good. Let's have both legs come to the sky, nice and strong. Hold on behind your calves and just bring your chest up to your legs, bring your legs to your chest. Draw your knees into your chest as you bend your legs again. And let's cross legs, roll up, and come back to another vinyasa. Plank pose, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And come through to sitting for some seated forward folds. Your spine is very tall, your legs are very long. Bring your hands in front if that makes you round. Keep your hands in back. So let's take a couple of breaths, extending the spine as you inhale, and then folding forward as you exhale. Just a couple of breaths to get down into our deepest pose. We can still take a peaceful breath without panicking. Good. Maybe you can get to your feet. If so, gently draw your feet toward your head, but very gently. And then eventually, let your chin come down to your chest, and we'll take 5 breaths here. Three. 4. Last breath here. Big exhale. When you inhale, we're just going to come halfway up and extend your spine long again. As you exhale, grab your big toes with the first 2 fingers of each hand. And with your next breath in, pull your big toes towards your chest. Pull your chest towards your toes. Elongate your spine. And as you exhale, elbows bend out to the side as you bring your chest down towards your legs. In the second 5 breaths of this forward fold series, you're pulling your big toes towards your head. So it is kind of making your feet twist. And that's what we want. 3. 4. And 5. We have 1 more hand position. So inhale, come partway up, and as you exhale, put the thumb of the finger on the knuckle of the big toe and wrap your fingers around. And if you can't get your hands to your feet, you can do any kind of forward fold you want. But this time we're going to be pressing the big toe away, pulling the pinky towards us, so twisting our foot the other way, and come back in once again for our last 5 breaths. Shoulders moving down your spine, away from your ears, elbows bending to the side if they bend. Good. Breathe deep. Last breath in here. Good. When you're ready, inhale your head up. Exhale your body up. We're going to tuck one leg behind. So I'm going to do my left leg first so you can see. Roll your calf muscle out. Knees are together. My foot is on the outside, but my foot is straight back. It's not tucked under, and it's not sticking out to the side. We just finished forward folding, so we're going to bend back a little bit this time. So we're just going to lean back and feel the quad stretch. Good. You don't want a deep bend in the low back here. So be mindful that your knee still feels okay. If your knee hurts, come out of the pose right away. And you can bend your knee with your foot on your inner thigh if you'd like. Let's come up out of this pose and switch sides. So I'm bending my right leg back now. Foot is straight back, hips are even, and I lean back and stretch my quad. And some of us can go back to lying flat on our backs. Some of us, when we try that, we have a very deep arch in our low back. We don't want that. So keep your low back close to the floor, and your movement will be dependent on how flexible your quad is, your thigh. Let's take another breath or two here. And whenever you feel ready, come on up out of this pose, and let's go through Vinyasa. Starting with plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. We're keeping the blood moving. Downward facing dog. Good. And we're coming into shoulder stand. So if you haven't done shoulder stand, keep your eyes on the screen, but don't go into the pose with your eye and look to the side, because it can really hurt your neck. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of shoulder stand. I like to have my hands on my skin of my back, so I'm going to make that available. Beginning shoulder stand, legs in the sky. If you're watching, sit up and watch. More advanced version. I'm walking my shoulders closer together, my elbows closer together, legs in the sky, and I'm only looking up. I'm not looking to the side. So that's shoulder stand. Stay in at another 8 breaths, but I'm going to demonstrate how to get out. That is, I bring my thighs close to my body and let myself roll back down. And then I do something to open up my throat. So those of you who are in shoulder stand, you might have another 3 or 4 breaths here. Do not look to the side. Shoulder stand is a risky pose, but it's a really good pose because it brings everything that's normally down in our body, the blood and the chi and energy and all of the juice in our body that's usually lower, it brings that to the sky and lets it flow in the opposite direction. It's a very relaxing pose as well. We hold it twice as long as we typically hold other poses. So if you're coming out of that pose, do something that opens your throat. Fish pose, as I was on the floor a moment ago, or you can sit cross-legged, hands behind you, just open your throat. Don't let the back of your head drop back too far, because it's not to pinch the back of the neck, it's just to open the throat. Take a breath or two here. And then when you're ready, come to sitting. Sukhasana is one foot on the floor and the other ankle on the floor in front of it. So your ankles are not crossed. Good. We're going to fold forward in this pose because we're getting ready to Shavasana. Fold forward. It's a nice hip opener. Nice stretch for the glutes and the hips. Maybe your elbows come to the floor. Maybe your forehead comes to the floor. Maybe you're sitting up tall, just trying to get a flat back. Take another breath, whatever version of this you're in. And we're going to switch our feet so we do it equally on the other side. So the foot that's closest to the body comes outside. The other foot comes close in. And we fold forward again. For a couple of breaths. If this feels great, do it as long as you'd like. Maybe another 2 breaths here. Longer if you'd like. And then Shavasana. So if you're ready, bring yourself back up. If you'd like to go through one more vinyasa, you can. Otherwise, Shavasana is lying flat on the floor with your legs a little bit apart, your arms a little bit away from your body, palms up. Where I am right now is nice and warm, so I'm not going to cover myself with the blanket. But in every other case, I do cover with the blanket from my toes all the way up to my chin. Sometimes I put an eye pillow on my eyes. But beyond that, Shavasana is a time to be very quiet and to rest, and it really is a required part of asana practice. You work hard, you focus and concentrate, you've got to take some time to let all of that go without filling your head with anything else, no sound, no thoughts. So take a big breath in, relax everything, and we have about 5 minutes to lie still. So you won't hear anything until it's time to come up. When it's time for you to come up out of Shavasana, take a long, deep breath in. And then let that breath out. Be grateful that you have breath. With your next couple of breaths, imagine that you can see the breath reaching down through your arms to your fingers, reaching down your spine, through your legs, to your feet and toes, and then move those parts of your body. Eventually drawing your knees in toward your core, and then rolling over and coming up to sitting, and maybe sitting with your eyes closed, staying inside for just a moment longer. Many of us have much to be grateful for. The clean water that we have access to, the food that we had available today, the time to spend with the yoga practice today. Let's be grateful for those things and other things that relieve the burden in our lives, be it someone who loves us, some kind of machine or technology that makes things easier, some kind of delivery, some kind of tool, or the opportunity to relax. Be grateful for all the ways that our lives are made easier. And take a moment to think about your strong body that just did this high-level practice. And think about how you can use that strength to ease the burden of another. You can be the thing that another person is grateful for. I am grateful for the RAC putting these classes together and making it available to everyone so that we can practice together. And I wish you well. Namaste.